So
Is it on?
Donko was just saying that we're good, but then he realized that I forgot to turn on the sound. So I'm consumed with being on time. There you go. Okay, we are good now. I don't understand the Bosnia thing that somebody just sent about the containers, deploying to Bosnia in a container. So I asked for clarification. It's probably not on here now, but no, I don't recall doing that. We lived in them. We didn't fly over there in them. What you got?
I don't have anything.
You ready for your dove hunt?
I'm ready.
There's a lot of doves down there. There's a lot of doves. So we planned a pretty nice ambush for them because that's how you watch. You study, you learn, you watch them. I know exactly where they're coming, exactly what they do, and they're going to fly right in our faces. And then they go in a field. So they like perching, so they come right into these dead pine trees in mass. And then they go right in that field and eat. And, so
Going dove hunting does not flip my skirt up, as Don says. It doesn't make me that excited. But seeing how excited he is and knowing how hard that he's worked, I'm excited to go on Tuesday. I think we'll have a good time. So we went and got everything we need to make dove poppers for the grill. That's Greg's specialty. And we got some beer and wine and little appetizers. So we're just going to have a good time and sit out there and shoot and hopefully hit something.
I'm still trying to, I got to get one more length of extension cord to operate the blender.
We're not operating no blender. That's too much shit. But we did go to the store today and we got, those silver screw-in things that you put in the ground that you can hook your dog to. We went and got 2 of those. We got some new leashes, some new collars. So if we can just keep Xena from choking herself trying to get loose, we'll be good to go. We came in today from that little trip, and Don was like, Warrior did the same damn thing. Well, when we got Warrior, we had just moved in here, and everything we had was old as shit. The wallpaper was falling off the wall, so when Warrior would tear up a strip of wallpaper, it really didn't matter because we were redoing it anyway. But I just had this couch recovered, and we came in today, and she has chewed a big hole in that cushion and had foam all over the place. She stole one of my short ribs off of my counter yesterday, and tonight I cooked prime rib, which is expensive, and that little bitch sat there and eyeballed that, and if we hadn't have been right there, she would have got up and had prime rib for supper.
She learns. She learns. I didn't see that, somebody say something about the seal stories in Bosnia. You gotta fill me in. But I don't know. We lived in them. I don't know about flying over there. I still don't know what the story is.
That just popped up and said you have a new payment from Robert Farrell. I wonder if it'd be the same Robert. Anyway, or North Carolina Robert.
Petitioning Clinton, Pennsylvania to erect a sign. I wouldn't go anywhere near Clinton, Pennsylvania and mention the name Shipley. None of us. My brothers, my dad, none of us. You'll be run out of town on a rail. There you go. What's going on with canines? See, there's always some shit going on here. I'm using canines 20 gauge on Tuesday.
Yep.
So Diane's, I'm using my CB Buddies 20 gauge. Diane's using canines 20 gauge. That's a nice 20 gauge. So, and I found this picture. I was going through these the other day. These are my first 2 hunting dogs. The big one all the way over on the right side is Buster. He's a dead grass, and then that's his girlfriend Jessie right there. And that's me working under the boat trailer doing something. And of course, there the 2 of them are, like all the other dogs. Just the big attraction here. Why go anywhere else? He's got it all. He provides me everything right there. So, yeah, there's my 2 babies. God, they were aggressive dogs. Good. So, What you got there?
No, the Michonne's little legs. We're just trying so hard. Donna, it's awful to try to just force a pill down a little dog's throat. And, big dogs, if you get those that taste like beef or something, big dogs will just take it right out of your hand, but she won't. And Dawn has to do that 2 or 3 times a day. And because we have to mash it up and add water to it, it fills her little belly up, so she's not eating good, and she just, if she could ever figure out that she just can't do what she did before, we'd be okay. But we go out and all the other dogs are running along the golf cart, and I put her down, and she tries to do it too, and she's just dragging her little leg. It's just so sad, just sad.
She can walk fine, but she just gets that little puppy in her. So,
Yeah.
Not that, Robert.
Jimmy
no, I
Joe,
don't
you
think
took
that-
Bonnie to skeet practice. I think skeet shooting is hard as hell, don't you? I think it's
No.
hard. It's unnatural or something.
Well, I can do it down here, and we did it at Oceana, at that range. I set up the range is mine, so I can set up the range and set up the shots of what is important. It'd just be like here. We just spent all day long on the high house and low house, right up against it or outside of it, as the birds were, because that's what they're going to do on Tuesday. And I don't think it's real. Now, skeet is a game, and it's a tough one, but I don't think there's much hunting where it's just imperative to get that insane swing on a target that just appears, when you tell it to. I think most game birds and things like that you see coming before you have time. And pheasants and grouse, they make a lot of noise when they flush. So, don't know. I don't think that was Robert. He got cancer.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah. I don't think he...
Hello, Dakota and Drunken. We're glad to have you guys on here tonight. I don't know where you're from. I'll start joining in and writing up here so we can find out more about you. Oh, his liver's fine, Iron Balls, but this is the last weekend. We had prime rib, we had baked potatoes, we had mushrooms and onions and the whole 9 yards, but tomorrow...
Cut you off here. There you go.
I'm getting back on this thing. I'm getting back on this keto thing. I've been off of it for about 2 weeks now, and it ain't going so good. I've got to get back on that and get some of this weight off. Because I know if I don't now, with the holidays coming up, it's just going to be bad, especially with the grandchildren down here for Christmas, because it will be cookies and all the shit that goes along with kids and Christmas. So, and Dawn's going to do it with me. We went and got some low-calorie something seltzer shit, whatever it is, a White Claw. I guess that's a big thing now. I guess girls drink that. Well, it's not the best thing that I've ever tasted, but doesn't have a lot of sugar, doesn't have a lot of carbs, so I'm gonna try to drink that nasty shit.
I'm just going to give it up.
If I can.
I'm done. I don't know. It's just one thing after another around here. We're fine. They said something in my liver was elevated, so I went in there and had them check it out, and they say it's not from the booze, so I don't have nothing to worry about, because that's all it is. And Michonne's got the same thing. If that little dog has an elevated liver thing, we all have a problem. So I'm going to lay off the booze here for a month and go back and get it checked out again, but they say it's not from the booze. Non-alcoholic stuff.
He's sticking to that story. He's been
Well,
telling me
that's
and Greg
what
that
it's
for
written
days.
right there, so...
But my blood work came back and I am good to go. I'm like spring chicken. I am. I'm good. I don't have nothing wrong with me.
That was it.
Good.
She don't.
So Dawn just told me tonight, I've been bitching. There's nothing on TV, and I watch a lot of reality stuff. I don't care what any of y'all say. I watch reality TV. I watch The Bachelor. I watch Survivor. I watch all the Hell's Kitchen. I watch all that stuff. So when the virus came out, all my shows got screwed up. But Dawn found today that tonight, I guess they are starting from scratch, season 1, episode 1 of The Walking Dead. So when we hang up from here, I'm all over The Walking Dead, and I'll have something to watch. I'm just going to watch it every single night.
It is Mekong, M-E. It's the Mekong River in Thailand, and I think it flows through China. And that's a big hot spot of shit right now. But the whiskey is called Mekong, M-E-K-O-N-G, I think, not Mekong. Mekong for the river, the Mekong River. There, in Vietnam was Mekong Delta, and I was watching this. We're in so much shit. We are in so much shit right now. Now we got Russian submarines going around the fishing fleets in Alaska, and bomber. It's just bad. But the Chinese, I think, what the show that I saw, have built 140 dams along the Yangtze and Mekong rivers, all those rivers that start in China that flow through all the other Asian countries, Thailand, Vietnam, and all they got to do is turn off their water. It's scary what they've done and why they've done it. When all they got to do is just flip that switch, and you don't have any water anymore. You don't have any water. You don't have any rice. Can't take care of anything. So it's crazy time, let alone Portland. And I think that today they occupied the mayor's condo complex. So good for her. Good for her.
Speaking of China, my daughter has been getting on my ass. I've ordered a couple of things, and I just never really paid that much attention to stuff, and I guess it came from China, and it was bullshit. It either never showed up or it was bullshit. So I was just sitting in there at the computer a few minutes ago, just horsing around, looking for stuff for my grandkids for Christmas. And so my daughter had gotten on me about, Mama, you freaking gotta check. Don't order anything that comes from China. Well, okay, if I knew it was from China, I wouldn't order it. So this looked so legitimate, looked like USA, all that stuff, and I just thought, I'm just going to try it. So I clicked on that About Us, and then I clicked on the shipping and the handling. And every freaking thing that I was getting ready to order for my grandkids for Christmas was fucking from China. Every single one of them was. Just by looking at those websites and stuff, you would never think that wasn't good old US of A. So I'll pay more attention. I won't order nothing from China no more.
It's getting, there's some shit going on. And this whole coup thing that's going on. It's not even getting me going with that. I've really stopped watching the news. I can't stand it anymore. I think they're trying to take over the country. This is a coup. And it ain't going to go very far. As soon as Trump gets elected.
And so Chinese food, actually, I love all kinds of food, but I'm not a big Chinese food fan. I love Japanese food and I love Thai food, but I ain't huge Chinese food. It makes me blowed up or something. I think it got so much MSG in it or whatever it is. Remember we used to go to those Chinese buffets and we'd just be so full we couldn't move, and then 2 hours later we were starved to death. Remember that?
All you got to do is watch some of those hidden camera Chinese cooking videos and see what it is they do, how they do that over there. I don't know how many people still be eating that stuff, what goes on in the back of that kitchen there, so I don't know. I'm not going to start bashing Chinese people right now, but it's just the governments, China, Russia, we got some ugly neighbors.
I don't want to get on a roll again, but I was just in there on the internet right before I walked out here. And it was this big old black woman standing out in the middle of the street somewhere. I don't even know what city it was. She was going off about Black Lives Matter. You say Black Lives Matter and you're burning down our own neighborhood. You're doing this and that. Her son was pumping gas at a gas station, just like right there where she was standing, a few weeks ago, and was shot and killed immediately. and she was going off about he didn't even have a chance to try to take his last breath. And I tell you, that was one of the best speeches or rebuttals or whatever about Black Lives Matter that I have ever heard, coming from a big, black, pissed off mother. I loved her. She spoke so eloquently. She said everything she needed to say. I'm going to post it up here so you guys can see it. It was wonderful. And I think that's what we need, is we need people like that to stand up and start speaking out and going off.
It ain't all of us. It's a small percentage of that. But my new favorite one is when the whole Black Lives Matter thing started, or probably before that, it was All Lives Matter. Black, white, everybody's life matters. And the counter to Black Lives Matter is not all lives matter until Black Lives Matter. So, fuck off, is basically what they're saying. I'm really getting twisted at some of the stuff that's going on. They've really come out swinging. Now it's some of the, like that guy that got shot in the back, wasn't quite up to what the mainstream media was doing, and some of the other people involved. Terrible, terrible tragedies. But I think the whole thing now, and I didn't really even want to get on this, the whole point of all this is to turn us into racists. And I think they're doing a pretty damn good job, because I am really sick of some of the shit that's going on around this country with that whole flippin' stupid ass movement. I think it's a big plan to just get us in more and more trouble with our mouths, and just push us and push us and push us and push us. Yeah.
Bridge Chief just said that was Atlanta, the place I'm talking about. He saw it too. Well, I saw another thing on the internet, and it was that Kamala Harris, and she was being interviewed by, I don't know who the hell it was, somebody big and everybody would know him. And she was sitting up there saying that this movement is not going to end. This movement is never going to end, and it should never end. And that's who's running for vice president. She is saying it should never end.
Well, it's peaceful around here, but I wish everybody get a life and think of some other solutions besides burning down people's homes and businesses and shooting people and just starting trouble. Your rioters, your looters, your criminals. Hopefully they're going to put an end to that stuff out there.
I was telling Dawn yesterday, I was on the internet, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but some woman wrote up there, and her little boy had come to her and said, "Mama, where does poo come from?" And she said, "What?" And he said, "Where does poo come from?" So she goes into this long thing about you eat food, and the digestive system and it coming out and everything. And after she went through that spiel, he looked at her and he said, "What about Tigger?" I just think that's funny. You all don't think that's funny? I think that's funny as shit. You don't, do you? I think it's funny. What about Tigger?
This is going nowhere tonight. This is going nowhere. What else? Excited to death for Xena, and we're ready to go. This is premature. I should not be. Every hunting book would tell you probably not a good idea, but I know my dogs, and this is like trying to teach kids football without them playing another team. You can't get them to understand, well, you're going to throw that to somebody over on that side. Well, there's nobody over on that side. You can't do it. And she's smart enough to know she's getting a little tired of them bumpers and stuff like that. So we're going to put her on some good doves. So we got some hot guns, just a few. And I'm going to do nothing but control those dogs and videotape this. And so when a bird goes down, I'm going to send Xena, I'm going to send Warrior. I'm excited for it. We're excited. So. All right. Did I do a good job of getting off the, not only the Black Lives Matter stuff, but the poo and Tigger?
Yeah, you did a good job.
trying
and
to.
diverting the
I'm
conversation.
trying to give you your moment.
It's just really hard not to. It's just, I mean, I know everybody's sick of it, and we're all not watching the damn news anymore, so I guess nobody wants to get on here and talk about it, but it's just hard not to. It's just because the country is obsessed with it, and that's all you hear about in the paper, magazines, news. So, I mean, that's what we're all living right
The
now.
media that's is obsessed
Yeah.
with it, and they got nothing else to do but shove that shit down our throats. And this has been a terrible year, and for just a ton of reasons.
Still City.
Hurricanes, fires, her mother, COVID, the economy, and it's everything is bad. Now you're going to bring this one into it, and you're not going to shut up about it. You're not going to shut up about it. And you're going to report every little single incident to make this even worse. So I don't even know why I watch anything besides Fox News anyhow.
Yeah, we got a lot of deer down here, and Steel City. The big dogs are not scared of thunderstorms. They're not scared of lightning or anything. But my little ones are absolutely terrified of both. They're terrified of gunshots, and they're terrified of storms, especially Michonne. She's bad. So they've got these soothing beds that's supposed to be. I'm going to have to get her one so she has something to hide in. But it's strange when the storms come and the thunder and the lightning, you would think that she would want to be on Dawn's lap because that's where she's the happiest and the safest. But she don't even want Dawn holding her. She wants under something, under a desk is where she usually goes.
She's getting wild.
Well, Sparks, thank you. Rather hear me than the news.
Oh, 60 Minutes. I just caught 60 Minutes before we got on here about the red flag laws. I'm sure there's another side to that argument, but so that's where some of that liberal side of me comes out just a little bit. I think the NRA doesn't have to just buck absolutely everything, and they're in a lot of trouble now anyhow. There's always something, but the red flag laws, I think a lot of the concern was your neighbor, like the witch hunts back in there, your neighbor could accuse you of some shit and they would take your guns. I just watched it on 60 Minutes. I don't know if that's quite the case. They just passed that in Colorado. It's really if you're just a complete nut, they're going to take them. So there's a lot of people, a lot of law enforcement that are not enforcing it. I have not really caught the other side. I've heard about it and it kind of creeped me out until I heard this side. So I don't know which side I'm falling on now, but anything to get the guns away from the nut jobs. Bernath never should have had one. Wigginfield never should have had one. There's a lot of people out there that should not have guns, and especially these restraining orders. That's just right on top of it. Yeah. But if you're getting your day in court, like a restraining order type of thing, and they just, the judge just says, yeah, you're flipping the whack job, man. We're taking those guns away from you for a year. I don't know if I have a real problem with it.
Goldsmiths, I do think that there are more different kinds of cats than you might realize if you really start researching it. But I was showing Dawn the other night, if my dogs start, dying off and going, I want to have me one of them damn Maine Coon cats. Did you see that big ass coon cat I showed you the other day? It was huge.
Like a flipping panther.
And we had a pet store in Virginia Beach that we went to, and what was that thing that it looks like a leopard. It's got spots all over it, but it's a cat. And I read, do you remember that thing that they had in that big pet store? It looked just like I don't know, had spots all over it, but they said that they make terrible pets, that they can jump anywhere and they'll destroy the inside of a house. I don't want nothing that big anyway. We try to read, guys, as we're going. Forgive us.
Sure.
Let me get up.
I wouldn't be high-fiving me too much, Donko. As I said, caught one side of it. I have not heard all of it before, but it seemed pretty cut and dry there. That and they gave some examples. If you can take CBS News for what it was worth, it was an interesting report on 60 Minutes of the process of it. Nobody's just ratting you and they're coming over to take them. You're going to court and get in front of a judge, and you're going to hear all this stuff, and that would make me sleep a little bit better than knowing that my neighbor could call and go, "Hey, he just threatened me, and you guys come over and take his guns." I don't know all that yet. I don't know
Yeah.
what flag laws.
A serval cat. That's what they're called. That's what they are, and they are just sleek and very cool. But I don't really know, unless you've just lived in a mansion of a place. I really don't know why anybody would want a feline that big. You know, you couldn't just, even on 80 acres, I could never just open the door and let that thing out. I mean, somebody would shoot it, you know, if they saw it. And cats will kill shit. I mean, I don't care if they're pets or not. My cat kills stuff daily, so I don't know. I would never want nothing that big.
Well, that's what we had at the team. We had cages, drying cages. That's what we called them. They were big cages, the size of my kitchen. We all had one, and you had all your gear in it, and they were all open air. They were cages, sliding door that would open, dry all that shit out. And I was walking to the back to the head one day in the morning, and there was a cougar in one of the guys' cages right in the hallway. It was a big flipping cougar, and he had got that thing in South Dakota. I think he lived up there, and brought it back, and it escaped. You remember that shit in Virginia Beach? He got away from him, and it was a big to-do in Virginia Beach about this puma running loose, and they confiscated it from him. It's too bad, too. It was a handsome animal. But
And there was a monkey that got loose too in Virginia Beach a couple of times, and we went and tried to buy that monkey
yeah,
from that Elvis impersonator, and he shit on Don's shoulder.
He bit me.
Bit your ear.
That's why I'm not ready. I got some monkey ass disease. So there you go. There you go.
Oh my God, a 24-pound cat. That's a big ass cat.
Yeah, this. I don't know. They were giving examples of this thing. I don't want to stir up some because I am not. I want my guns. But if you're a fucking nut and you're going to go looking out and you're starting to threaten people, you're writing this weird shit on the internet. There was a lot of frustration I saw on there tonight with some of the law enforcement. There's nothing they can do about it until you do something. This is just the threatening enough stuff. They can take you and put you in front of a judge, and you have your day in court. No, I didn't do that. No, I'm fine. I've done this. But I think anything like that can also be taken to the extreme. And if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. That's what's going on with this whole Black Lives Matter movement right now. They're looking to take the whole mile, and they won't stop until they get it and shut them down. And it could be the same with that. And I know why the NRA does what it does, because they don't want them even sneaking a little bit into the door. We're just going to shut it completely on you. And that's right. When I think some of it, probably ain't too bad of an idea. Hey, Hound, I just watched it on the thing. I'm talking about Colorado, dude. I don't need the capital letters. I just go get on 60 Minutes and watch. They had them all in front of judges there. So, yeah, I just watched it. I just saw it there. So there is a hearing before they take any of that and the police get them. So, unless 60 Minutes and all that was making the whole fucking story up.
Well, they could have been.
Period.
Now we're talking about my cat lays 5-pound turds. You got to be careful what you talk about on here. It's like a runaway train. Golly.
Stupid question. Feel like Chris Farley. I don't know what the hell the question was. I wasn't there with the Connex box ones, so I'm still trying to figure all that out. But I had a good time there. But no Connex boxes. Just lived in them. So. Cat sheds like a woolly mammoth. Our cats don't shed too bad.
No, but these dogs do.
Oh yeah. And Zena's out. We don't have any mosquitoes, so everybody is doing fine now, and hopefully we won't get any more. We about got flooded out of here 2 days ago with that hurricane that hit Louisiana. Poked its way up here and dumped rain out of the buckets again. But the impoundment is flooded out here. There were ducks in it today, so we're doing good. I'm glad to see my ducks are coming back, even though there's nothing really ripe in there for them to eat yet. They're just going to tear it all up. But whatever, let them go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pull it out of your ass.
I gotta put my gloves on. I can't see shit.
Yeah, well, maybe that's it. I was just watching Colorado. Another reason I'm evaluating my life as it stands.
Oh, you do?
Here with all the phonies. We had a subscriber take it upon himself to go nutty on one of the phonies and some other people involved in it that he really didn't have any business doing. It's just the keyboard commando type thing. I'm just going to dig into this thing and go nutty, and I'm going to bring the heat down on you and make life hard for you, your wife, your kids, grandkids, and all the other subscribers on here because I want my pound of flesh, and I have no dog in this fight. So we're in an evaluation period here of how much further we're going to go when people just think they can pull all kinds of shit for $10 a month. But, yeah.
We really try to be respectful to everybody and watch what we do when we have to. You know, we ended up there with Bernath, which was a freaking nightmare, and nobody is putting their ass on the line except us, and we're the only ones doing it, and it is so easy to sit back to get on their website or watch these things and sit back in the comfort of your living room and think, I'm just going to reach out to that son of a bitch and tell him what I think. And it's happened a few times that really screwed us over bad.
Not that guy. Others. And there should be red flag. Maybe we'll get Terry to start a red flag law on here when you just feel the need to pluck the wings off of innocent butterflies and the whole thing. Because you're reckless and mean. So we're in an evaluation period. This, it's been a little bit of a drought here with phonies, but we're really evaluating after the last one. It was pretty big. It's happened before, but this one was really big and endangered people. And that, when you talk about the red flag laws and some of the deranged motherfuckers that I deal with here, and you would dig into something that I might not have caught in a video that you discovered, and you would go dig and do that and pick a big scab and really dangerous stuff. Really, that was really reckless and dangerous what they did to another person. But it falls back on us. So we're just trying to muddle through here. So I'm going to talk to Terry about a red flag law here on the website. I don't know about the individual states, guys. I don't deal with it, man. I've just sit out here. Perhaps I misspoke. I know there's a lot of, I was only talking about Colorado, and there's a lot of law enforcement that are starting the sanctuary counties up there just because of that. And there were even parents who had their children or family members killed on both sides of the issue saying, yes, we want the red flags, and no, we don't want them, even though our people were killed by it. The law makes no sense. So we'll have to see, but I would hate to think it would be a Salem witch hunt on here. A phony could do it to me, and all my guns would disappear until I proved myself. So if that's some of the case with that, then so be it. But right now here in sunshiny Maryland, we don't have that problem. I'm going to go out and shoot a bunch of doves.
I hope we do.
Yeah.
because I haven't planned a backup for dinner, so we got to have some doves to eat.
Yeah, I take good care of the stuff on here. I tie this stuff up in a nice, neat bow when I give it to you guys, and nothing else needs done about it. And if it does, then I will certainly ask and throw it out there and say, you need to contact WKRP in Cincinnati over this phony and get them riled up. But there is some times where that can really go too far, and that's why I moved away from YouTube and put it on a private membership website so just the members can see it. I meant it for that for a reason. Even though it shoots right to the top of the YouTube or the Google hit list for these guys, and don't read too much into what I'm saying here, but there were just, when you open air some of this stuff, the bloodletting that goes on from some guys that will just look at any avenue to get a pound of flesh when it doesn't affect them in the first place anyhow. Most of my stuff is all educational, merely trying to show you guys what these guys do, how they do it, and the lies they tell, so you're not taken like these other people. And I've been verifying liars all fucking day long. And they're outed. There's not much more that needs done. But we've had some run-ins with these guys.
Yeah, and we don't get on
some.
here and talk about it all the time. We don't want to sound like parents getting on everybody, but when we have something on a private website and we're putting videos up, then it's on a private video site. People pay every month to be on here,
and you're sending them links and sharing your password with them, directing them to the site,
so that they can see what we're doing.
Here's my password. Don't share it with anybody else, and you can watch what he said.
So every once in a while, we're like, okay, somebody will write up, where's the next phony coming from? And there have been times that we're just like, really? We're trying to get out of this mess that one of you all freaking caused. And we just don't want to talk about it, but that happens sometimes.
That's right. So part of my liver, we're starting a new liver foundation for me, being able to calm down, because I feel like Phil Harris on The Deadliest Catch sometimes. What you're actually watching is me slowly going the way Phil Harris, and you'll cremate me and throw my urn in a crab basket and drop me somewhere in Bering Sea.
I thought we were trying to watch that last night. No, we were trying to watch Wicked Tuna last night.
I'm on a roll by Columbo now.
Oh, God, he's recorded every Columbo. We watch at least 3 Columbos a day, and I like it. I haven't seen it. And the other one that we used that supposedly killed his wife, the one that had the parrot on his shoulder, Beretta. We used to watch Beretta, don't you remember? The Eye of the Sparrow. Wasn't that what it was?
What we would do is, when we were on that ship together, the deck division berthing compartment, we'd all go down there at noon until 1. When it was turn 2, you had to go back to work at 1, and we would watch an hour of Perry Mason, a whole bunch of us in there, in the cruise lounge there, and just watch Perry Mason episodes every day. We watch Perry Mason, and we got him on here, so I love Perry Mason. And Paul Drake, of course, was a frogman in World War II, and I like Columbo. I like Columbo because I can learn some of that shit too.
Drunken bastard! Are you the one that made that beautiful flag for us? He just said he loved our reaction to the flag. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I actually.
It's right here. I just screwed.
We have it right here. I just went and bought.
Screwed the things into it.
I just went and bought one of those picture hanging things, and Don just got it fixed today, so it's going in the living room at the barn. That's where it's going. Yeah. But we just got the picture thing, but we love that.
It's going down there tomorrow because I'll tell you, if you guys watch, I know you've all seen me with the geese and the ducks of before the hunt, where we're disturbing them, and you're not going out of here. And you're not going to the store to her because you're going to run up all the birds. It's the same way with these doves. They are peaceful. They are happy. So tomorrow, I got to go down to the barn. We'll get that hung up. We got to put some beer in the freezer. We got to get the dove decoys, new batteries, and all the dove wing spinners. We got to get all the guns, all the shells, and get everything just kind of set. And it's going to be a quick shoot. I'm not going down there waylay. And I tell people around here, the least amount of shooting you do, the better the hunt is going to be. If you're whapping away and unloading guns on every stupid dove, but it's Greg and his son and us, and just a good opportunity to train the dogs. Because we talked about it on tape today. The last major dove hunt we had was with Chuck and Redman, and oh my God, what a lineup of clowns and infantry hound dog. And that's the one where Chuck shot all the cardinals. That's not a dove, and don't shoot that osprey either. But they shot so many. I was on the golf cart delivering water, beer, and more shotgun shells to them. It sounded like World War III down here, and every dove left the property forever. I'm just now getting to come back. And so we're not going to do that tomorrow, because I'd like to drag this on a few more times and just be able to go down there and shoot a few birds with the dogs and keep this training thing going. This is so important for Xena and Warrior. This is just the perfect opportunity to get this done before other folks start coming in and calling shots, blowing goose calls, and trying to control the dogs. This is an insane opportunity for me to get those dogs trained, disciplined up. And if I can just go down every 4 or 5 days and pop a few through the season, it'll be good before the ducks start rolling in and the geese.
I used to watch soap too. I used to love that. That was so damn funny. I love soap. I like all them old shows. Well, I tell you what, there ain't nothing worth the shit to watch anymore. That's the truth.
That soap was a good one.
That was so funny and so good. But in
general.
Yes, in my opinion, there ain't a damn thing on TV worth watching anymore. And that's the reason we watch them reality shows. But I don't know where in the hell we've been, but we caught the, what's that Western I fell in love with the other night? Yellowstone. I hadn't even seen it, and everybody's talking about it. So now I'm hooked on that, and I saw up here where everybody's wives are loving that Outlander, and I've never seen that either, but I'm going to start recording that, because that sounds good. I need some good shows.
I do remember a lot about Laughing, but I remember soap.
You sort of had to be stoned to watch Laughing.
Crazy. We were 6.
I wasn't 6.
You were 6.
No, I wasn't.
I do remember a lot about it, but no, it wasn't me.
Oh, I love all the Death Wish movies. I've actually got a picture of him when we built our cabin. I'd go around to all these junk stores and antique shops, and I got an old antique picture of a Bronson. Charles Bronson, and it was old wood, like old barn wood, and I've still got it. It's down in the barn, in the bottom of the barn now. I love that thing. And I've heard about the Ozarks on Netflix. Who is in the Ozarks? See, Dawn and I would like shit like that.
Easy girl.
Because when nothing is on, and I can watch a good black and white movie occasionally, but if there's nothing good on, Dawn will watch black and white movies every single night, over and over and over. And I have to be in the mood to watch that shit.
Well, I'm trying to think of the guy we were watching the other night. It was called They Drive by Night. And it was... Who did have in it? Humphrey Bogart. And the guy that, somebody will get it on here, the guy that at that point was the Hollywood hotshot movie star gangster. He was the gangster in Hollywood at that time that all the women swooned over and all that. And Humphrey Bogart got his start by playing next to him in a movie. And they went, damn, you ain't too bad either.
And wasn't it who was the woman, the one that loved John Wayne so bad?
Oh, that was
Maureen
O'Hara.
O'Hara.
But that was the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's her start. But yeah, Maureen O'Hara died kind of tragically.
I never knew that until you were telling me that last night.
Well, I was reading a bunch of stuff about it. It seemed that when John Wayne died, that Maureen went all to shit. So, tough stuff. But
Breaking Bad,
Edward G. Robbins, that wasn't him.
Greg
Edward
and his
G.
woman had never seen Breaking Bad before, and they just started it a few weeks ago. Now they're all hooked on it. We love Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And what the hell happened? Was that just the end of the season? Is Better Call Saul just over?
Coronavirus.
Oh, is that what it was?
It's killed everything.
That's the reason
Not
ain't shit to watch.
I'd like to aerial spray some coronavirus around the Portland area. See, yeah, it's getting bad out there. These people going up against each other, and watch what happens, man. Of course, that's another reason to take our guns when we go up there and we decide to take matters in our own hands.
Canine Lover says, you all are old, old, old. Yes, we are, because I watch Car 54 too.
Oh.
We're older than shit.
Dragnet was one of my favorites. Stick to the facts, man. And that guy, there's nobody that plays, what was his name? Dragnet. He played in some really good movies. He played a Marine drill instructor in one. And the best scene in there was when he caught that private slapping the sand flea on his face. They were all laid out in their positions. He was training them, and he saw that one kid take his, I don't know if it's going to go. Chuck, I know, has seen that movie, I don't know how many times, but made him go out and find it, and they dug a 6-foot hole and buried that flea because he killed everybody in the company by moving. The DI, that's right. Jack Webb, the DI, that's right. Oh, that was great.
Bill Wins, speaking of Bow Bow Black Sheep, the admiral that built this house was friends with Pappy Boynton. Pappy Boynton has obviously been in this house, and that girl room was the living room. This wasn't here at some point, but he was friends with Pappy Boynton.
Oh, one of the Black Sheep guys owned that up there. There's a lot of stories about the admiral here. You could see that. It was before the cell phones and computers, and Annapolis was right there, and they would just pile in down here for these long weekend retreats of volleyball, swimming, fishing, shooting, crab eating, and debauchery.
And when you think about it, back in the day, all of that, Baa Black Sheep, all of that shit, the characters that have hung out here and frequent in this property, and so now for us to have it for the wounded guys, it's sort of like it was meant to be. And there is a guy that lives here in town. He's always at the Grand National. His name is Cage. He's older than us. He's a funny looking guy, blonde spiked hair. He's 70 something. He put a picture up yesterday of him and Larry Hagman. That was JR on the show Dallas. And Larry Hagman's best place to hang out was to come to Dorchester County every goose season. And Larry Hagman stayed in Dorchester County and went goosing and duck hunting every year. And they said he was a great guy.
George Raft, R-A-F-T. George was the original gangster back then, Cagney and all them, and that's how Bogart got his start playing next to him. And Alan Hale was also in there in the movie. They Drive by Night. I watched it, and that's the skipper on Gilligan's Island's father.
And it looks just like him too.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, Major Nelson, I Dream of Jeannie. I used to, oh my God, I loved I Dream of Jeannie. And she's still, I don't know if y'all have seen Barbara Eden lately, but by God, that woman is as pretty today as she was when she'd go down in that bottle. But when she'd go down in that bottle and it was all velvet down in there and stuff, oh, I wanted to be Jeannie so bad. I wanted to go down in that ball bed. I loved it.
Oh, and Maureen O'Hara was married to a brigadier general.
That's right, and that's why she's buried in Arlington.
Maureen O'Hara is buried in Arlington.
That wouldn't happen today. A wife? Would you think that would happen today?
Now they're getting a little full over there.
Yep.
So I can't even be buried in Arlington today.
Don watched Hogan's Heroes yesterday, Fred.
Oh,
Don loved it. That was his granddaddy's favorite show, and my dad, was in Germany and on the beaches of Normandy and all that, so my dad loved Hogan's Heroes. That was one of his favorite shows.
Well, we would always torture the Germans when we'd work with them about Hogan's. They really hated that. They really hated any reference to Hogan's Heroes.
But
And they all knew it. They all knew the show, and they did not like it.
He was so nice looking, and didn't he end up in some shit about weird sex something?
Oh, yeah.
When it's something, I think he ended up in some weird shit.
Chuck.
I see, hear nothing. I hear nothing.
Oh, we used to do that to those Germans and drive them nuts, man. They hated that show. Who else did we do that to? They hated those shows. You'd get the foreign guys and these foreign things about them, but the Germans, that was really bad. I think it was the Brits. Some Brit show we talked with them about. I don't know. They didn't have any comeback for us. But there you go.
God, we are old as hell. Whoever wrote that up, we are old as hell. Canine Lover said that. We're letting our age be known, guys. We got to stop talking about this shit. Richard Dawson, yeah, and years later, didn't he do some game show or something? Richard Dawson, I loved him. Family Feud. I think that's what he did.
Now, Richard had a hard time keeping Mr. Happy in his pants.
He did?
Well, he was all over those girls, man. He was lipping them up. They did a comedy about him one time doing that. Yeah, he had to get his loving in. Good night, Sparks. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, Sparky.
Thanks, Sparks. Yeah, Bob Crane did that. Now the German nuts loved it. Oh, you always find something to torture somebody about. Warriors.
He's well asleep. Did you just turn it off?
No, I was trying to do
The light ain't on now.
Diane.
I can't see it.
Oh, Hawaii 5. Okay, all right. Now we're on it. Hawaii 5-0.
That is the only thing we could watch.
That was a badass movie. That was one of the. We watched that and that Western show with the Big Valley. We watched these like Channel 6, and it just had all those. But I have seen every Hawaii 5-0 there was, and I was a huge fan. I hated to see Steve McGarrett die the way he did of dementia and all that. But I always had a big thing. I'm just a huge fan. Steve was larger than life and all that show, and loved it. And he played a SEAL in there, a reserve Navy officer, but he was a SEAL. And he'd do a lot with the Navy. And the Navy, that's where you would see that, how good that show was, because the Navy would support them a lot with the ships and that. And then Magnum P.I. Tom Selleck played a SEAL in Magnum P.I. And that was my favorite one ever. I watched all of them. I loved the Dobermans that they had and all that.
The lads.
But it was one of his shows where he met up with a Russian while he was in a Vietnamese prison camp. And this Russian named Ivan went to work on him, something terrible. And all that. What was the show? We were just talking about with the Dobermans.
Oh, Tom Selleck show.
Tom Selleck got him out in the Hawaiian rainforest and murdered him. It shocked me so much that he did that. There was no taking you in. It's like right here and now, I'm going to murder you, and I'm getting away with it. He shot him. But there, so long, Ivan.
Duke, if you go fishing, make sure and take that video camera and put us up a video. We'd like to see what you guys get. And somebody in here was talking about Bonanza. I just read the other day shit, I just can't remember the name of that. The new Western that I love, that I was just talking about.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. One of the girls that plays in that is Little Joe's daughter, Michael Landon's daughter. She's beautiful. She got a big part in that thing. It's his little girl.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
Frank Thornton was my counterpart in Afghanistan. While I was running the site in Pakistan, Frank was running the site in Afghanistan, in Kabul. And Blackwater made this deal for these. They should have been really sweet. They were AR styles that shot a 7.62 bullet. And they were really nice guns, but they were chambered way too tight. And when we got them over there, the sand, I mean, we were carrying magazines in Glad bags. That's how bad it was. And doing anything because they would just jam. They would not cycle. And Frank got us a whole bunch of AK-47s and sent them down to Pakistan so we'd have something to shoot with. So, yeah, he's a good guy.
I remember that Carol Burnett scene when she came down the Gone with the Wind and she had the curtains on her. We used to watch that to watch Harvey Korman and what was his name when they would always get on his knees. Who was that? Shit, driving me crazy.
Funny.
Not Dom DeLuise. Shit.
Oh no.
It was so funny. We used to love them.
There you go.
Donko says Frank's his old drinking buddy at McPee's.
He's a good guy. They don't come any better than Frank. So I don't think I've
Tim
ever,
Conway, that's it. Tim Conway.
never even had a beer with that guy. Just would talk to him over there, just being the two sites because we had to trade dudes back and forth. Nobody was coming from his site to me. My guys were going there. Nobody wanted to go to Pakistan.
Donko says Frank started Trident Investigations when he retired, and that's what the Magnum show was based on. Never heard that before.
I don't know. Like Donko's making shit up again.
Quit bullshitting, Donko.
Donko. Conway just passed on not too long ago. That's right, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah. All right, guess what? I need more wine. Oh, that ain't no good for you.
Cool.
I want to tell y'all, I went yesterday and I got me a lava light. And I've always loved them. I've had a million lava lights, but this bitch is huge. How many inches is it? The box is sitting out there. I mean, it's probably up to my...
It's scary big.
It's
if
huge.
It falls over. If the Warrior starts wrestling there, that thing goes down. We will never be able to clean that shit.
Oh my God, it's blue and green and it is so cool. I've got it sitting right beside my chair in my girl room and I just love that thing. But damn, it takes a long time to get that thing hot before it starts going up. But I've never seen a lava light that big and I freaking had to have it, so it's mine now.
That big thing is teetering on a Dixie cup.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's
I've got it
I
safe
said.
now.
I said, those dogs are going to knock this thing straight over, and it's going to smash everywhere. So.
No, I've got the mineral oil rain thing. Herman gave me that. It's to hanging up, but this is a
Gunsmoke.
yeah.
That's my everything. As I tell these guys, really why I don't like the phonies so much, and the one that we had posted up, a fake obituary. He was claiming all these 7 Purple Hearts. He's a terrible, disgusting phony. And there was a link in the Purple Heart, and when you clicked on that link, it brought his toothless, smiling ass up with Norman Schwarzkopf on one side of him and James Arness of Gunsmoke on the other as recipients of the Purple Heart. That's ancestry. James was shot in the ass on Anzio, and you can see it if you watch Gunsmoke clearly. It bothered him for the rest of his life, and Gunsmoke certainly didn't help him riding horses and stuff like that. He got badly wounded, and so did Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin got shot in the ass on Saipan. Then they took them out of the war. I mean, the wars were really short for those two guys. Yeah, do you ever hear any of the bullshit about Captain Kangaroo and Lee Marvin on Iwo Jima? It's all bullshit. So, and Mr. Rogers, too.
All right, guys. I'm going to go get a refill, and I'm going to start watching The Walking Dead from day one. Right now. Come on. Let's go, Dawn. Let's go watch our show. Bye, everybody. We're really glad to have you new guys on here. I appreciate it. Drunken McBastard, thank you again for our flag. We
Yeah,
love
if I'm
it.
going to get you a picture. I know I told
But
you
did
I
you
would.
take the guy that made the donation that was up there?
No, let me get it later.
Yeah, I'll grab that for you.
Okay.
Sorry, we're no good with names anymore.
I told you I'd get you a picture of that when I hung it up down there. So I just got it all strung up today. It's a really heavy ass thing. So, yeah, there you go.
That's a hard name to pronounce.
Well, I know. That's why I said I probably did, because now
can't see it.
now she's going, okay, I know what he's talking about.
Hey,
The writing,
South Carolina,
the writing
thank you
here
so much.
isn't the best. It's going to take me forever.
But he's from South Carolina, and we.
Well, you didn't even get me the letter. You're just next time you start suggesting shit, make sure you're getting it.
I didn't
So,
know it was hard to read.
I can't even make the name out.
Thank you.
I can't even make the name out. Okay, good job, Diane. Anything else you want to put me on the spot for here tonight? Thank you for the donation. I'll be sending you a letter back, but yeah, you got bad writing stuff. Okay, guys. I'll see you. I'll see you. I will see you. I will see you. Okay, now if I can just get this going. Take care.